this feeling like it's starting now, starting now. I feel adventurous with you, and there is nothing that can hold us back, hold us back. We can do what we wanna do, 'cause we got all the time in the world, for better or worse. We should stay together, so let's stay young and in love. We should focus on us forever. Yeah, baby, if you are feeling like I do, we could run away across the ocean. Baby, what you say? We can leave today. Anywhere we'll go, we'll be alright. It's all about you. It's all about you. It's all about you. It's all about you. Doesn't matter if we make mistakes, which I can promise that we'll do. Just hold my hand and we will be okay. Yeah, it's true, 'cause we got all the time in the world, for better or worse. We should stay together, so let's stay young and in love. We should focus on us forever. Yeah, baby, if you are feeling like I do, we could run away across the ocean. Baby, what you say? We can leave today. Anywhere we'll go, we'll be alright. It's all about you. It's all about you. It's all about you. It's all about you.
Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Yes, Lynn, it's a bit early. Sorry. It's just one of those days where it's a little bit more convenient for me to do it early in the afternoon than in the evening. So if you don't mind, I just wanted to go a bit earlier today. Good morning, everyone. If you're joining us early, he's in here. Hi, Lydia. Hello, Vicky. Hi, Lane. Hey, Church Nelly. Nubian Queen. Oh, I don't think I've seen you for a while, Nubian Queen. Church Nelly. If I hear any more about that damn slap, to be honest with you, Church Nelly, I didn't want to believe that it was a publicity stunt, but often when you see this kind of like just oversaturation, I kind of start to get a bit suspicious. And it's just really weird how you've got celebrities who didn't really have anything to say about certain things that have gone on the last couple of years. For example, like the insurrection, and all of a sudden have something to say about a little slap. And people like Jim Carrey, who've really just been out the spotlight, all of a sudden having so much to say. It's just very, very strange. And I'm not going to lie and say that I'm not starting to get at least a bit suspicious that maybe it just was one big PR stunt, because I mean, Chris Rock's show has sold out, which I think says a lot about the people who have gone to see that show, that they thought that a black woman being made fun of was so funny that they'd want to go see Chris Rock. But that's the world we live in. So whatever, a fool and the money is easily parted. Lydia, we know a reporter had to chase a story. I have to catch replay. Yeah, just wanted to make sure that I got much information as I could. The um the only bad thing about going on early is that usually, especially on this side in the UK, things start to come out during the day. But it's okay. Whatever I don't catch for now, I guess we can talk about it tomorrow. All right, here, let's get started. I want to start making the intros a little bit shorter for the replay gang. So just going forward, um, please don't be offended if I don't say the hellos at the beginning. I do see you. I see you and I love you. But I wanted to start making intros just shorter so we can get to the show. And if you are listening on replay, always remember that you can fast forward the podcast. There should be 3 little dots in the corner of the video, and you can just watch it back a little bit faster. So what would be a 1 hour show you could get through in like half an hour. Little tip for you. Okay, make sure I'm not missing any. So Ginger Lily, Chris is currently in my town and all 6 of his shows are sold out. On the news last night, it was reported he did not mention anything about the slap other than he is processing it. Yeah, well. Yeah, well, listen, you will make up your mind what you think, but it's worth perhaps this is one of those rabbit holes that's maybe worth going down just to see what other people think. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, let's get started. Yes, Earthshot was nominated for an award, BAFTA TV. This is BAFTA TV. So there's BAFTA TV and there's BAFTA film. And obviously, William is the head of BAFTA. I think he's a patron or something. Why I don't know, because I don't know what he has actually done for BAFTA, but he was nominated, and instantly people started to question why was Earthshot nominated when it didn't bring in the ratings that it was meant to bring in, especially for the time slot that it was given. And it then comes out that Kate and William have appointed a former BAFTA executive, Amanda Berry, as the new CEO of the Royal Foundation. In her previous role, Berry served as the arts charity chief executive for 23 years and led the successful repositioning of their annual film awards. So someone who was literally in the top spot of BAFTA is now working for the Royal Foundation. And the last person who was in this position, of course, was Jason Knopf. And we did wonder who was it that was going to be replacing Jason Knopf. And now we have our answer. I give Amanda Berry 2 years tops, because working for the Cambridges is no easy gig. I don't even know if it's something that you want on your CV these days. And she should know that she may be expected to throw herself under the bus to save the Cambridges. She is entering their realm following an absolutely disastrous tour. And it's interesting that they would bring this lady in. And no attempts to have any diverse voices on the team, which is really what they need. Having said that, I do know that BAFTA have attempted to have be more inclusive over the years. So I don't know. Maybe Amanda is someone with a very progressive mind. It's left to be seen, but um, me personally, I would not want to go anywhere near what is effectively a sinking ship. She does have an OBE, which is definitely in their circles and in their realm. But in terms of Earthshot itself, and whether or not the award event deserves to be nominated, well, according to, I think this was taken from an article in The Guardian, um, Earthshot had around 3.3 million viewers, which fell short of the average 5.1 million, which is usually the viewing figures for any show that gets put in the slot that it was put in. So it definitely fell short in terms of numbers. And this was despite having performances from Coldplay. So I think it was Yemi Olade. Sorry if I'm saying her name wrong. She's quite well known African artist, and also KSI, and also appearances from David Attenborough, Emma Watson. I think was it Helen Mirren or Judi Dench came. So they really did put a lot in the show, and people just weren't interested. So there you go. Jobs for honors, I guess we can call this one. Hashtag jobs for honors. Yes, Maggie, such a coincidence. William picks a major staff holder and Will's project gets nominated for an award. And honestly, it would be it'll be very interesting if Earthshot does win and him and Catherine go and get the award. And they're literally just going to show up, because this is how short-sighted Kensington Palace is. They'll show up. I don't think that they've got anything in mind in terms of they're showing up and giving back. It's just showing up to show up. But I don't see that they would be nominated and not win, and show up and not win. So this is going to be interesting. Let's see what it's saying. And Shady and Ratchet this early in the morning, yes. Yes, Susie, it's a major conflict of interest. It's like, when you enter a competition and you always read the terms and conditions, and it says that you can't, so friends and family of people who work at the company can't enter. There's a reason for that. Hello, everyone. If you're just joining us, please do thumbs up and please do hit that subscribe button. If we can get to 8,000 by tomorrow, I will be so happy. I thought it was called Earth. Well, I can't say that for the censors on YouTube, but you can call it that if you want to. Earth poo-poo emoji. Andrew, I don't understand why William and Kate trying to live in the Elizabethan era. The tradition is gone. It's because of who's in that household. There's vipers still alive from the 1800s. Sheila, hi, half the staff were fired after the fell tour and KP is going with less staff. What exactly were they doing that they can now be instantly won without? Doesn't look like they know how to staff. No, it's going to be a constant revolving door of staff in that house. They're trying to big up Bowling Ball, trying to outshine Sussex's, winning an NAACP Image Awards. Also, if Harry.com Invictus wins awards next year when it comes out, head is a dud. Well, if Harry wins next year, it's going to be well deserved. And actually, I almost forgot. It's not just about William wanting something for Earthshot to outdo the NAACP awards. Remember, the Me You Can't See was nominated. So, I mean, they're doing all the things that they criticised Meghan and Harry for doing. Criticising them for being too Hollywood, too showbiz. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And what's wrong with engaging in Hollywood and showbiz if you're actually doing something positive? It's not inherently just because there are some bad people in Hollywood doesn't mean that everybody is bad and that you can't do good things, especially if you have the platform, the power, and the money to. I'm also wondering if this could be a reason why he didn't attend the BAFTAs because it might shed too much attention on the fact that he is the president of the BAFTAs and now he's being nominated for Earthshot. Yes, yeah, showing up to be flattered and pandered to. You know, there's a video of them walking into the BAFTAs one year and hardly anyone clapped. They were all silent. Kei Concilio, is this the awards will not attend? No, no, no. That was the BAFTA film. So there's BAFTA film and there's BAFTA TV. It's like there's the Golden Globes and there's the Emmys in the US. Guys, we are not going to be talking about that formerly employed at Fox News. Dum Dum. We're not talking about her. Desperate for attention. She crawls up from the dark hole she lives in every now and again and never has anything of any use to say. And this was a woman who, when she came out with her story of being harassed, everybody gave her sympathy. And she seems to think that it's okay to go after another woman who's Megan's never paid Megan Kelly uh, any attention. So we are not talking about that. Formerly employed by Fox News, Dum Dum. Dilly, major conflict of interest, cheats, but should we be surprised? All they do is underhanded. That's their MO because if they are on a level playing field, they will lose. Yeah, absolutely. If they have to be on a level playing field with Harry and Meghan, they will lose every single time. Oh yeah, Sylvia, and the Oprah interview was nominated. Because all we do is win. When will the BAFTAs TV be held? I actually don't know. I haven't looked it up yet. Yes, always trying to badmouth Hollywood, but trying to be Hollywood. Remember when they showed up to the Bond premiere and Catherine was in that gold dress, like literally overshadowed the actresses. Like it wasn't your red carpet; it was the actors and the actresses' red carpet. That's bad manners. I would never do that. Yeah, Ginger. Imagine if H&M were the head of BAFTA and gave themselves an award. There'd be all sorts of headlines today. Andrew and William is trying hard to play catch up with Harry's life, while his life is one big flop. Well, like I always say, the truth shall set us free, and all he has to do is admit his sins. Because either he admits his sins and takes control of this situation, or the British press will out his sins for him, and it's going to be a very hard and fast downward spiral. Okay, so that's pretty much all I had to say about that. I cannot wait for Invictus games to start, so we can just focus on Invictus games. But yes, I kept on forgetting to mention this, but I think most of you all know already that Boeing is involved now with Invictus Games. They put out a statement on the Invictus Games website saying that we are very grateful for the long-term support of Boeing for the Invictus Games movement. This builds upon their sponsorship of the Invictus Games Sydney 2018 and extends to a multi-year, get that, multi-year games partnership agreement in a first for the foundation, said Invictus Foundation CEO Dominic Reed. Our work supporting international wounded, injured, and sick servicemen and women through sport is only made possible by partners such as Boeing, which is committed to long term support for veterans and their wider community. The partnership will provide funding for the foundation to continue to inspire the recovery of international wounded, injured, and sick veterans and service personnel through the power of sports, esports. Oh, that's so interesting. So, Invictus might go into esports, or are they already doing esports? I don't know if there's any esports fans in here, but esports is huge, like huge ass arenas. So, okay, I'm going to look more into that because I didn't know that Invictus was involved in esports. Because if they are, esports is massive. It's a $1 billion industry. Okay, and adventurous challenges. In particular, this extends to the work of the foundation beyond the games to improve ongoing access to recovery and rehabilitation programs, including Invictus endeavors, and will allow the foundation to develop best practices and research to support the international veterans community. And yeah, so Harry's not just building a community of veterans around the world with this. He's building a network of incredible um, sponsors, huge companies. I mean, Boeing is massive. You really can't get bigger than that, man. And this is what we're rolling with now. I just think it's absolutely incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And if companies like Boeing are willing to jump on board, what's to say companies like Apple, Amazon, Coca-Cola, whoever else won't jump on board also, Nike, etc. All the big names that we're used to seeing at these events. So, bravo, Harry. Bravo, Harry. Um, Josephine, after watching the goings on with tour, the squaddies were an important part of the strength. They encouraged the Commonwealth to stay strong. Love squaddies for the rest of my life. Amen. Thank you so much, Josephine. We're definitely having an impact. In fact, we're having such an impact that the royal rodents can't keep us out of their mouths. Ingrid Stewart. So this is one of the rodents who was caught out in the prank that those British pranksters played, where they got them to talk about the Oprah interview before they even saw it. And she said, I don't even know why they're still interviewing these individuals because they're clearly not experts, they're just liars. But anyway, she said, the wall of silence was loud, as if they had shouted from the Abbey rafters. The normally verbose two conductors of Sussex said nothing. I don't know why you're expecting two non-working royals to say anything, Ingrid, but whatever. No spokesperson spewed out long sentences of wordage. There were no flowers with the florist's name proudly displayed. Well, the last time Harry sent a raft for, wasn't it for Veterans Day or something, Remembrance Day? You didn't put it out there for him. And then when he did pay his respects himself, you called him an attention seeker. But anyway, no comments from Archwell, nothing, even not a word from their supporters on various social media accounts. And why would we comment on Philip's memorial? Why would we comment? We're not here for the other members of the royal family. We're here for Harry, Meghan, Archie, Doria, Diana, and the chickens, Guy and Pula. That's what we're here for. Oh, and Lilibet. Sorry, Lily. So it's like that they're begging for our attention now. And for what reason? We've never been here for you or the other members of the royal family. We would have been if you would have been nice to Harry and Meghan, but you chased them away. And we're meant to pay attention to you for what exactly? Traditionally, that gold disco dynasty dress, I can't unsee it. Yeah, Christ. Yes, CL. Diana would be so proud of Harry. Yes, the more they pull Harry and Meghan down, the higher they fly. Now they're flying literally with Boeing. Oh my god, Alita. Don't give them ideas. I hope no one from the royal family ends up ends up in the hospital during Invictus games. I wouldn't put it past them. Well, we know the lengths that they will go through if it means getting attention away from Harry and Meghan and making them look bad. And yeah, would it surprise me? No. So yeah, expect a couple more people, I guess, to randomly pop up with COVID. Oh gosh, I said the word. Hope the censors don't get me. Pop up with Mr. C. But Rosa, I have a feeling this round of Invictus Games will be really successful. The first time Harry's doing it as a free man without royal shackles holding him back. Absolutely. And can you imagine if he was still within the fold of the firm? If and with him getting big deals like with Boeing, they would definitely be trying to hold him back. Be 50% of yourself, Harry. A butterfly, what is esport? Esports is it's video games. It's video games. So I know we sometimes mock the geek crowd that love video games, but esports is highly lucrative, and there are it's hundreds of millions of dollars now. Like if you're a top esports player, you're making a lot of money. If you are a games company that has a huge game, you're making a lot of money. The esports event holders, they're making a lot of money. So just type in like esports arena or something, or I might be able to get you a picture just so you can like it's esports is becoming bigger than actual or it's starting to level like live sports, like running and stuff like that. I'll get you a picture because if Invictus is getting into esports, then I'm really excited, y'all. Let's have. I'll get you a picture of an esports event because I'm super excited if they're getting into esports. Let's have a look. Anybody, any esports fans in the chat? Please do let us know. Hmm, strange. Please do thumbs up if you're just joining us. 500 in the chat. So that's an example of an esports event. And the players will usually sit somewhere in the middle and play on the controllers, and then you'll have the screens showing the game going on. So it's very competitive. Yeah, yeah, Brenda. Someone on Instagram showing Harry slapping piss moron, like what Chris did. Yeah, there's been quite a few really funny ones being made. Yes, Rosa, Ingrid Sewerage. Her indeed. Yes, let Willie Lee copy that. Take that, checkmate. Sheila and the other big names will come on board when they see the masterpieces Invictus will be. Yes. And then next year will be even bigger. Even bigger. Can't wait for it. Joan, there's a video of the visit that Harry made to Jamaica in 2012 with their defense force that came to my feed yesterday. Okay. I don't suppose he was riding around in a colonial jeep, was he? I doubt he was. Uh, Yes, CL the chickens. We ride for Archie's chickens. Remember after the Oprah interview and the um I think it was the British Association for Chicken Rescues or something, like their website crashed. Terry, their butt hurt that Harry did not attend the memorial service. Well, I mean, how many memorial services does this man want? Somebody very rightfully put it in a tweet here. So, dead Prince Philip has a funeral, a memorial service, a day of thanksgiving, a day of praise, a day of remembrance, a day of acceptance, a day of celebration of life, a day of sunlight, a day of a day, a rainy day, and every other day that they can come up with to get Harry and his family to show up. I mean, that pretty much sums it up, right? It's ridiculous. There were more concerned about Harry not being there than Prince Andrew being in the damn front row. Yeah, Josie, go to church and go home. Go to church and go home. I don't know if there were any complaints this time, but let's not forget that um during the funeral service there were over 100,000 complaints made to the BBC. Thank you for getting the trolls, y'all. Ethne, more and more, I'm convinced Harry was the brains behind Heads Together. William and Kate can't convince or execute anything original. And you literally have not heard anything about Heads Together in a while. Instead, they're grabbing all of Harry and Meghan's patronages, not paying attention to any of their other patronages, and trying to compete on the celebrity Hollywood level. I wouldn't be surprised if I heard that Heads Together maybe in a year or two has shut down because they can't keep funding going or something. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Patricia, they want the Sussex Squaddy's attention to boost the royal family wannabes over Prince Harry. Well, it's never going to happen. I mean, I wasn't even going to cover, and I don't think anybody in the squad was going to cover the "We Are Not a Racist Family, Make Colonization Great Again" tour until it turned into such a disaster. I mean, Charles was an island. I think Edward was in Kenya or something, and absolutely nobody was paying attention to that. Sophie went to New York. Nobody was paying attention to that because we don't care. We're not royalists. We're Harry and Meghan fans. Don't know how many times they have to hear it. Wilson, the success of the Invictus Games is what's killing the royal family. Yeah. I mean, I've seen so much of the signage and the branding that they have up around the place for Invictus. It looks so professional. It looks exactly what you would expect for the Olympic Games. Terry QE2 had her favorite son by her side. Wasn't that enough for the British press public? Well, I feel like it's gotten to the point now where they don't even know how to defend it. So they just have to de facto to bashing Harry and Meghan. Yes, Sylvia. Tell them once again, we are not here for anyone but Harry, Meghan, Archie, baby Lily, Miss Doria, the two dogs, and the chickens, and Diana. We will not let Diana's legacy die. Okay, so that is that. And what else was I going to put out? Oh yeah, so as we know, Archetypes is coming, and please to do put this in your receipts file. From the Express, who claimed that they ran a poll from Friday 18th of March to Friday the 21st, asking, will you listen to Meghan Markle's new Spotify podcast? The poll generated a huge response, 21,000 people. Do you know how hard it is to get people to even, to get even 1,000 people to do a poll, but 21,000 people who read the Express and probably don't like Meghan filled in this poll. And hundreds left comments on the article. Of course they did. They're obsessed. Overwhelmingly, 98% said no. So yes, just bookmark this for when the podcast is a resounding success, and when all of those people who said that they wouldn't listen to the podcast definitely listen to the podcast. Or if they don't listen to the podcast, they're going to read every single article talking about the podcast because they're obsessed, as is the British press. So that is that. Also, what did I have? It would appear that the palaces just might be briefing against each other now. This is Russell Myers quoting some of the news headlines from yesterday. The Prince of Wales and Duke of Cambridge on more than one occasion raised their concerns over the optics of allowing the shamed Duke of York to accompany his mother to the Westminster Abbey service on Tuesday. Royal sources have confirmed the future kings were absolutely united that it was simply unnecessary for Prince Andrew to position himself as the only family member to escort the Queen to the church. So to me, it would appear that they are now briefing against Lizzie. Because really and truly, why would Charles and William support this and throw themselves under the bus as if they're not already under the bus as it is? Charles is still unpopular because of the love affair with Camilla. The Crown is gonna come out later this year. That will probably make him look worse. And William has too many skeletons in his closet. He can't be seen to then also be supporting Randy Andy. So it doesn't really surprise me that they are now potentially briefing against Lizzie. Yes, Evangelist, there are going to be more Black Commonwealth countries leaving. I do believe that. I think I forgot to put the slide, but there was something about another country leaving the other day. Sorry, I forgot which one it was, but it's one of the Caribbean ones. Also, more of the not so invisible visible contract showing itself. Managed to spot this. So this tweet that was put out by Sky News, and we know that Sky News is owned by Richard Murdoch. Prince Andrew accompanies the Queen to Prince Philip's memorial service in what will be seen as a clear signal of Her Majesty's support for her son. That has now been deleted. And over here, I can see from the video counts, at the point that this screenshot was taken, 178,000 people had seen that tweet. So I don't know why they deleted it. The internet lives forever. And it's now being shared more because they deleted it. But yeah, the not so invisible visible contract showing itself again. Sky News deleting tweets about Queen support for Andrew. Rachel, esports big in the US and lots of money. My niece is very good, but few females. Yes, esports is huge. Yeah, it's very difficult for women just because of the levels of online harassment. I think a lot of girls just tend to bow out because they just can't deal with the harassment, and the industry isn't dealing with it in the way that they should do. So I think we've still got a while to go before we see a lot of before we see women in esports kind of at the level of the top ranking men. Just because of the harassment is it's horrendous. I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to trigger anyone. But some of the things that they go through, you think of just the online harassment that we see like in the squad towards Meghan. But imagine that if you don't have lawyers and you don't have a support system, you don't have PR people and who can swat away the flies. But hopefully things will change. Benjamin, did you cover Will's rebuke of H&M suggesting he won't tell anyone what to do? They merely encourage people to be their best. Also said they're wrapping up the rule book. Yeah, a lot of that is just PR spin. I don't see that they will actually do anything different other than try not to look uncomfortable around black people. That's pretty much it. Yeah, Marilyn, a day for mistresses, side chicks. Um, what's the male equivalent for a side chick? Bro chick. Or some bro chicks as well. Anne had an affair with her now husband, so I think we can put him in that category. Yes, Fideline, Ingrid Pinocchio. Ingrid Pinocchio indeed. Harry must be beside himself with laughter at William and Kate getting a BAFTA award. Imitation, imitation. I don't know if Harry's beside himself with laughter. Probably rolling his eyes more with disappointment. I don't believe, regardless of anything that Harry's family have done to him, I think he's disappointed. I think he feels betrayed. I don't think that he personally wants to do any harm to them. He just wants to be left alone with his wife and kids. He'll just do what he needs to do to defend his family, and that's it, really. Oh yes, Sash. Trinidad getting on board with getting rid of the Queen. Yes, that's who I meant to mention. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Yeah, more countries are jumping on it. Cindy, Harry did not take the bait. The royal family media set up the memorial service. Yeah, because can you imagine now if Harry had gone? They would be using him and somehow linking him to Andrew and why Andrew is there and oh, but he's a Harry's an activist and he's an activist for women and look, he's there and Andrew's there. I mean, you can literally just see in your head how it would have all played out. Hi Elizabeth, I enjoy watching esports. Happy to see the Invictus games going into esports. Oh my god, I'll be so happy, man. Because like physical sports like running and track and field and swimming and all of that, like it's great. And it's great that Invictus is doing that. But if they did esports, man, that's all the millennials, all the Gen Zs, like everyone, man. Oof. I'm just getting so giddy thinking about it. Let's cross our fingers. Uh, Josephine, as soon as UK media finds a new whipping boy, George, yeah. I mean, they're just dragging this out with Harry and Meghan for as long as they can. And I'm sorry to say it because I don't wish it upon him. I honestly wish the best for the Cambridge children. I hope they find freedom. But we know what the British press and we know what the establishment is like. We know what they did to Harry and William as children. And unfortunately, I see George being used as a whipping boy, especially if it's to hide his father's um, wrongdoings and shady behavior. The same way Charles used William and Harry, specifically Harry more so, to hide his shady behaviors and make him look like a better father. So uh, I wish the best for the Cambridge children. I hope they find freedom. Dolores, video games are good for hand-eye coordination for helicopter pilot in war. Yeah. Well, they train like before they go in the actual helicopters on like video game style like simulators and stuff, right? Bonnie, they probably sought out derangers for the express poll. Well, I don't believe that anybody other than derangers read that ragmag. But we shall keep it in the receipt box. I think they're setting up Kate to be the new villain in the press, but we'll see. I think so also because you can hear the tone after the or during the Caribbean tour changed so suddenly. Um, and it wouldn't even surprise me if William started briefing against her because it was quite incredible how the tone just changed. And then to see Rose at the memorial and then Daily Mail doing a whole article on her, you know, calling her from the well-born set. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Udin Green, I want an Invictus t-shirt. You can probably buy them online on the Invictus website. No, have a look. Okay. Let's see before we go on if there was anything else I wanted to mention. Oh yes, this. So some of you may not remember this because this was quite a while ago. So when they announced Lilibet's name, there was a woman called Joanna Toch on Twitter, and she was widely criticized and briefly suspended from the Family Law Cafe, the company she founded in 2017, after she tweeted about the name of the Sussex's second child. But she has now been cleared by the BSB. Now, I want to just remind you of exactly what it was that she said and um, of why she was cleared. So just give me a sec because oh, silly me, I had it open, but I seem to have closed it. But I was really annoyed when I heard this because it was completely unacceptable what she said, and she knew exactly what she was saying and why she was saying it. The amount of just vitriol that Megan brings out in these Karens, and she looks like a typical Karen. Um, it's just incredible. So I'm gonna read out from the article. I won't put it up on the screen. I'll just read. So this is from Law Gazette. A family barrister has been cleared by the Bar Standards Board over tweets she sent about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's new baby, Lilibet. Joanna Koch was widely criticised and briefly suspended from the Family Law Cafe, the company she founded in 2017, after she tweeted about the name of the Sussex's second child, Lilibet Diana, last June. Columnist Julie Burchill said the name was a missed opportunity, adding they could have called it Georgina Floydina, so a play on George Floyd's name, in an apparent reference to the Duchess of Sussex's mother, Doria Ragland. No, that was not in a reference to Doria Ragland. It was in a reference to George Floyd. Replied, "No, Doria, don't black names matter." After Birchall replied that she was hoping for Doria Oprah, Toch then responded, Dopefra? Toch, who was called to the bar in, sorry, Toch was called to the bar in 1988, deleted the tweets shortly after they were published, apologized, and shut down her Twitter account. The Family Law Cafe said the comments were offensive and acceptable and unacceptable and briefly suspended Toch, who returned to work the following month. Toch's comments were also criticised by the Family Law Bar Association, which said it had referred the tweets to the BSB and Bar Council. The BSB received dozens of complaints about the tweets, which the regulator's decision-making panel said some people found offensive, though it added that this alone was not a basis for finding a breach of the BSB handbook. The panel ultimately found the post did not diminish public confidence in the profession or undermine Toch's integrity or independence and dismissed the complaints against her. In a statement, Toch said, "My tweets were misinterpreted, perhaps deliberately by some, and I was publicly vilified and threats made about me and my family. The furor was whipped up by those who should have known better, in my view." She added, "I am now going to get on with representing people who need to have their voices properly heard and make family law representation accessible to as many people as I can." So okay, if we actually take exactly what um Toch said. So she was responding to a comment, right? So the comment that was posted by columnist Julie Birch was, "They should have called it Georgina Floydina." And then Toch then responded with, "No, Doria, don't black names matter." Um here's and then Toch responded to Birchall's comment about Oprah with Dopefra. Here's my thing about this. As someone who is a family barrister, who should be sensitive to all matters, especially cultural matters, who should have been well aware of the smear campaign and bullying campaign against the Sussex family, she should never have engaged in that conversation with Julie Birchill. She shouldn't even have been looking for any type of conversation like this online directed at a newborn baby. So if the law feels that she should continue to represent people, then fine. Um, but she's not somebody that I would hire. She's not somebody that I would hire, and that's all I have to say about that. To your comments. Oh, thank you so much, Brenda Tembo for the super sticker. Happy Thursday to you, darling. Oh, was it Trinidad and Tobago and Barbuda? Well, amen. Bright Eyes, Prime Minister Holness, is that the Jamaican Prime Minister? With Vice President Kamala Harris think Trinidad voice leaving next. Good for them. Dolores, I said it before. Andrew is going to give Charles and William hell when the Queen passes. He probably will, but it's two of them against one of him, and the two of them are the future kings. So good luck to them. That's facts. Esports is not sports. I'm pretty sure those in esports would disagree. It's a form of virtual sports. We'll put it that way, and it does require training. So just a different type of discipline. I wouldn't say it's not a sport. Um, Hello, Ella. Thank you so much for joining us. Adrian Commonwealth, do you know that Willie will not invite Harry or Meghan to his birthday party? I think I saw a headline about this. Um, I don't know if I'd want to go to William's birthday party. It's not exactly a loss, is it? I mean, what type of music are they going to play? I doubt they'll be Afro beats. I don't want to go to a party where they're not playing Afro beats. Lynn, the royals just love to be with one another, friends, family, anybody who's close and blood related. I don't even really think they like each other. I don't think they do. They tolerate each other. I think they like each other. They definitely don't act like a family. Kay Castillo, hello, how are you? I agree Harry has moved on. If his family wants to continue to play his back and forth game, Harry is clearly not part of proud of Harry. Absolutely proud of Harry. Hi, Success Global UK. How are you? Thanks for joining us. Yes, yeah, the Rose article was some kind of warning, but to who though? Was it a warning to Kate that you have to know your place now? Was it a warning article? Was it a warning shot to both of the Cambridges that you need to give us something? Um, you need to start filling our pockets. And who was the warning from? Was it from the press? Was it from Clarence House? So many questions. Yes, Ruth Lopez, you know we're having an effect with trolls targeting us. The troll activity has definitely gone up. Okay, I'm gonna try and wrap up quickly because I don't know what time Baron's on today, but he's usually on soon. So we'll just wrap it up quickly with your comments and I will let you go so I don't clash with anyone. I don't think I had anything else other than just a couple of articles. You can see just the blatant difference in how the press rats were reporting um, royal family will be relieved if Duke and Duchess don't come to Philip's memorial, and then Harry faces lifetime of regret for missing memorial. I mean, y'all, come on. I mean, how old was the guy? Harry had a good time to be around his grandfather. So, thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Thank you for the super sticker. Thank you to the moderators, and we'll just wrap up with your comments. Have a lovely day. And oh, please don't forget to subscribe because if we can hit 8,000 before the end of today, that would make me so happy. Um, yes, Joanne, congratulations to Jamaica. Congratulations to everyone who's finding their freedom. Yes, a family barrister. It's embarrassing. You know, nobody just rolls up on the let's troll the Sussexes side of Twitter by accident. She was clearly in those circles for some time and entertaining those circles. And for her to actually respond to someone who made that comment. Marty, someone knows why a Duchess like me has stopped sending. What you mean, the Duchess like me podcast? Did they stop posting? I haven't actually checked on them for a while, but I'm assuming if they're not posting, that they're probably just a bit busy. Probably just a bit busy, hun. It's a lot, you know, to do a podcast, to get on with your day to day life, still have a life. Even just doing a weekly podcast is a lot, let alone sitting down and doing a daily. And it's one of the reasons why I just switched to doing lives because I could just kind of like speak off the cuff and get information together very quickly as opposed to sitting down doing a script for a pre-recorded podcast like I was doing before. I mean, I definitely will. Don't get me wrong. I will go back to doing like pre-recorded videos at some point because there's just so many that I have planned that I want to do, especially like Megan's pre-royal life and stuff like that. But it is a lot more work to do those videos, I have to say. Like I'm almost in awe that I used to be able to I used to be able to do it somehow because it's so much work. Yeah, Bonnie, I don't know how those tweets are misinterpreted. Don't know how. To be honest, the other lady's tweets were a lot more provocative. And I think if it had been the other way around, if the Joanna woman had tweeted what the what was her name? Julie? Yeah, what the Julie woman had tweeted, it probably would have been a different story, but they were still inappropriate. Yeah, Maggie, she meant every word she said. Susie, they are so full of corruption. It seems like almost everyone coerced together in the UK. Oh, girl, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. Andrea, could it be that Andrew is more than supporting the Queen against? I'm not quite sure what that comment meant. Sorry. Yeah, Sheila, and that's another thing. Andrew knows their dirt, so they've got no choice than to embarrass themselves. Sylvia, who do you trust on the island? I still think Carolyn Flack's harassment before her loss of life. The business model is sick. Oh, I don't know if there's anybody to trust, to be honest. There are even some. Okay, for me personally, I'll just say this: I don't consider myself someone who's left or right. I generally like if I had to describe my political affiliations, I would say that I'm anti-establishment. So even there's even people who are a little bit more veered to the left in this country that I don't necessarily like. Um, so for me personally, like even outside of this whole situation with Megan, there's nobody who I really trust. If I'm honest, I tend to just kind of, if I see something happening in the news, I tend to just kind of sit with it and think about, just take a long time to like process it and think about, okay, well, as opposed to letting my emotions dictate how I feel about a certain situation, let me think about who's involved. Let me think about who's benefiting from this. That's the kind of approach I take to politics and things that happen in the UK and around the world. So sorry, that was a very long-winded answer, but there's no one who I personally trust. I'll put it that way. Um, Tash, it is a sign of the types of people who decide what is acceptable within the BSB and journalism in the UK. Yeah, do you know what? If they were going to allow her to stay on, I think at the very least she should have just apologized because there was no misinterpretation of what she said or the underlying meaning of what she said. She should have at least apologized. CL, yes, the royal family hate each other, but they need each other. It's a parasitic relationship. And what do parasites do? They eat away at things. They're just ultimately going to destroy themselves. And there's also the risk of the establishment itself just wanting to get rid of the royal family if the royal family become more of a liability. Um, because they are partly there to uphold a social order. Now, if they themselves are in disorder, well, then they're of no use. So they really need to get together. Once upon a time, cheerleading wasn't considered a sport. Now it is and huge. So yes, esports is a sport by definition of a sport. Yeah, I do consider it a sport, albeit a virtual sport. Still a sport. Yes, thank you so much, Lucy Wynn, for always reminding everyone. Please thumbs up and subscribe and put notifications on. And let's try and get to 8,000 before the end of the month. I just love how direct you lot are. Well, I've changed it to Megan now. Hope you're happy. Yeah, Marsha, I don't want to be at party where Voldemort is doing his banger dance. The cookies and cream, how sad that they racially abuse newborn baby. These racists do not see black people as worthy of respect. They see black people as inferior. Yeah. Sussex Global, if I remember correctly, she is the majority owner of shares in that legal practice. She probably has friends in high places. Really? Oh, yeah, probably. Or maybe somebody might have pulled in a favor, you know? A lot of these people in these top circles, they all know each other. Yes, in September, the royal family is literally a cult. Literally a cult. Ethne, I think Harry and Meghan getting out when they did was necessary. Became the purse holder when Charles. Oh, sorry, Will become the purse holder when Charles ascends to the throne. That will be their weapon against Andy. Hmm. Well, I'm wondering what type of insurance policy Andy has been given by the Queen. So yeah, we'll see how this plays out because it's definitely going to get messy. Thank you so much for coming, Dorothy Ross. All right, let's see. Oh, thank you so much, Bonnie. I'm so glad that you all enjoy the live shows. I tried to whiz through them as quickly as possible because I do know that they are a lot longer than the kind of snappity snap shorter videos that I used to make. But it does make my life easier to do live shows, I have to say. I'm pretty sure some of the other podcasters would agree. Okay, so I think most of you have said what you wanted to say. So who's going to get the last comment of the day? Okay, Sash, I'll give you the last comment of the day. Thank you for your faithfulness. Thank you for coming back time after time again and keeping the squad updated on Harry and Meghan news as well as the unroyal rats and snakes. And oh, yes, Lucy Wynn. Thank you everyone for joining the Duchess of Success live chat. I will see you tomorrow for a Friday night drinks and tea and wine and moonshine. And have a fantastic day, everybody. Let's dance our way out. I know I messed it up, but in my soul, I feel a love for you that's out of control.